The Podcast from Hell is a member of the Queen City Podcast Network, powered by Ortho Carolina. Now offering video visits so you can take control of your orthopedic care from the comfort of your home. Schedule online at orthocarolina.com. Ortho Carolina, you improved.
Please stand clear of the closing door. Going down.
Intro. All right, good. And 3, 2, 1, Kale.
Are we recording?
And yeah, and now we're okay. Now I did. Okay, erase that. Never mind.
Oh, sorry.
And sound
Sorry.
speeds.
I'm not used to all this
Fade in.
pomp and circumstance.
I got the levels. Levels are set. Looking good.
Now I can hear
And now
myself in
Kale.
my headphones. Is that supposed to happen?
Well, you're supposed to. How do you know how loud you're being if you don't?
I've never, in the recording of this podcast, been able to hear myself in my own headphones.
To be fair, Kale, that's usually because I don't let you.
Okay. So I just assume that I need to be louder. That's how
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that. How it's like, oh, weird. Kale's really, really loud, and for some reason, Rick and the Devil are really, really quiet all the time. What's up with that?
They don't say that.
They do. We good?
Hold on. I don't hear it.
I don't either. It sounds real quiet. Hold on.
Mine died.
Malfunction. Anyway, yeah, we're good. Keep going, Kale.
I don't understand what you're doing now. What is this?
I'm producing your podcast.
Why? Okay. I didn't realize there were so many steps involved.
I didn't realize there were any steps involved.
When Rick was doing it, he would just start recording, and then that was it.
Maybe.
Yeah, that one was iffy. But I appreciate the fact that you're
I bring
taking
a
this
level
job so seriously.
of pomp, circumstance, and professionality to this.
All right. Well, our listeners will remember that Rick used to be the producer
Is that a catchphrase?
of the podcast.
Is that a T-shirt? I'll write that down.
That's usually my job.
Wow, Rick, he's actually writing down.
All right, hold on. Our listeners will remember.
That you are the devil himself,
Yes.
and Rick has recently been promoted to a super demon, and now you are producing the podcast. And I am
For
still
no
the
reason
host.
whatsoever.
Yeah, no ulterior motives that we will find out about later.
Nope.
I know it might seem like we're setting up
Like
something
there's
for
some
later.
big,
It will not pay off.
important thing that it's going to be a big twist in the arc of the storyline of this season.
No,
It's not gonna
I
happen.
get that. It's not going to happen. Well, I appreciate.
I feel like it's probably leading up to something pretty fun.
No, Rick, our listeners have been burned before. It's not leading up to anything.
Can I get on that? Okay, Bessica asked me the other day. She sent in an email to rickthedemidemon@gmail.com.
Okay.
And she said, so you guys got a whole thing planned out, right? Like this is you got the what's happening this season. And I said, huh? And she replied, yeah, like you got a story planned
So
out.
I'm sorry, you sent back an email that just said, "Huh?"
Yeah, I was confused.
Okay.
And so I said, huh? And she said, so what's going to happen now? And I said, that's not how it works.
All right. Listeners may be confused why Rick is still in the podcast studio.
Oh,
when
sorry,
He's not the producer
I
anymore.
don't have anything to do with my time.
Okay. You weren't supposed to be on mic when
Oh,
you
sorry.
were involved in the
my
podcast.
bad. Nope, I'll sit over here near the
All
door.
right. Now I'm ready to do my intro.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
It's going to take a minute.
Oh, this is weird. It's the first time I could hear myself doing the intro.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
Welcome to the podcast from hell. What do you mean it's going to take a minute?
No.
Was that a jab?
Oh, no. It was
Right.
a jib jab.
For those of you who are just now joining us, I don't like those jib jabs.
Oh,
I feel like you're making fun of me when you put my face on Dancing Elves.
okay. I don't know.
For those of you just now joining us, my name is Kale, and I've been damned to hell and cursed. Let me take that again.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been damned to hell and cursed to record a podcast for all eternity. I'm not one to lament my lot in life,
Or afterlife.
so I've decided to make this the best
Damned.
podcast that anyone has ever heard. By anyone, I mean the damned souls who've been cursed to listen to podcasts for all eternity.
Eternal scream.
I seek each week to motivate and inspire those poor unfortunate souls and make their afterlife just a little bit better.
Hey, Kale,
Yes.
can I tell you something?
Oh, please.
As the devil, I feel like this is a waste of my time.
What do you mean?
I feel like I have more important things to be doing.
I can't help you. I don't. What could be more important than something like this?
I'm not asking you to help me. You can't help me. You're right. You are powerless to help me, Kale.
I think that your listeners, you're reaching so many people right now.
I've seen Kale.
Yes.
I've seen the numbers.
Oh, come on. They're growing.
Okay.
Okay.
It's sort of a 1 in 1 out policy at this point. So and that's if you have a guest.
I think that was by design that we anytime we get a new listener, one of our old listeners has to drop off.
Yeah, and anytime you get a new guest, they have to listen on the way over. But they stop listening after that, Gale.
Well, no, I'm sure I tell them rate, review, and subscribe.
It's not working.
Okay.
You know what, Kale? I'm getting pent up. I got some butts to poke. I
Okay.
got some fires to stoke.
Yeah.
I've got some ways to be woke.
I'm sorry. Are you
I'm-
you quitting right now?
I'm quitting. Kale, it's become, I hadn't intended this to be like my thing.
Oh.
This was sort of, I was just taking over because Rick wasn't even supposed to be in here anymore. And he's still sitting in the corner.
Yes, I am.
And it's sort of weird. So I'm going to leave. Rick, you can either produce the podcast or not produce the podcast. It's out of my hands. I wash my hands of this. And I am going to go, I don't know, make some new cool pitchfork designs.
Oh no! Please don't go.
Oh.
You added so much to the
Well,
show.
actually, you did. I kind of like being over here.
Nope, too late. Your cries for mercy will not be heard. They have fallen on blind ears. Anyway,
Hey, Devil, let
What?
me just say, and I mean this sincerely, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Okay.
fair enough.
All right.
Hey, Rick,
Yeah?
where's my hog?
Oh, come back!
All right. Why don't you take us to commercial and he'll bring your hog around.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Can you
I
do
can
that? Let that
I
be
can
your
do
last
that.
thing. The
I can
last
do
thing.
that.
Take us to commercial.
All right, here we go. New commercial music.
You've been listening to the podcast from hell, brought to you by Hades Pallades. Trying to keep up with your niece wife, but finding it hard at your advanced age? Looking to spice things up with some new moves in the bedroom/dungeon? If you answered yes to none or one of these, then Hades Pallades might be right for you. We have classes for all levels, from Gerblin to Balrog. So come on down and give Hades Pallades a chance. The bird means it's working. The podcast from hell does not endorse kidnapping or marriages of nieces. The content of these classes is solely the opinion of Hades, Lord of the Underworld, and do not represent the views or opinions of the podcast from hell, the Queen City Podcast Network, or any of its subsidiaries. Hades Pallades.
And we are back.
Whew.
Listeners will remember that the devil was,
was 5
the
seconds ago.
producer of our. Well, we get new listeners all the time.
Even in the
So
middle,
somebody may be listening.
tuning in, someone just
maybe
now
a new
tuning
listener
into this
in the
podcast.
middle of the podcast.
You know, Kale, I know we've talked a lot about how I don't know how podcasts do, but I have figured out that you do have to sort of start at the beginning and download it and listen, and there's not a whole lot of people coming in midway.
I happen to know that one of our top listeners,
Likes to
Badum,
listen at 3 times speed, and so he just
he
kind of
listens till he hears my voice, then he stops, and then he
Oh.
continues on.
Oh, that's right. He's like, you seem to talk for 15-second intervals.
I do talk for 50-second intervals. And what he said was, I distinctly remember this email. He said, Oh, that episode was a lot of Rick talking, and it seemed like Rick was way louder than Kel was.
I don't know
Can you
about
please
that.
fix that in future episodes?
Sure, Hey, Kale, I'll fix it in post.
Listeners demanded. That's not a thing.
I'll fix it in post.
Wow, Rick, it's like you never stopped producing.
Hey-o.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you for filling in as the producer.
I'll do it.
Until we can find a permanent replacement
Permanent
for the devil.
Produce.
Thank you. And as producer, you should be letting our guest in right about now.
Oh, of course, the guest that we arranged for.
He's in our green room,
Oh, wait.
also known as
Outside
standing outside. Yeah.
the door. Okay, hold on. Let me go get it. Okay, come on in.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to the podcast from hell.
Hello, I am the Dungeon Master.
Hi, the Dungeon Master. Do you hear that, Rick?
Yeah, I've been Dungeon Mastering for what is it? How long Hell's been around?
I don't know.
It's exactly 6,000 years.
So,
Just like the Earth.
it's year 2. They realized that they have, totally a lot of people in the dungeons, and they needed a master, so I came down.
What dungeon do you master?
So it's the Hell Dungeon, and we do, campaigns for, 6 to 7 people at a time.
Oh, it's like a boutique, the dungeon.
I'm not clear. Are you a dungeon master, like the master of a dungeon that people are tortured, or are you a dungeon master, oh, he's the DM for this round?
So, in the beginning days, it was a lot of torture and killing. And then I realized that, playing together as a group is actually more torture. It's like group projects,
Oh, I
And
get
then there's
that.
always that one guy who's just not going to do anything.
And
That's
he's
right.
not going to team in, right? So then it's a torture for everybody else to play with him. So that was the real torture, group projects. So
There's always the one that does all the work
I'm getting a lot of flashbacks.
and then shares the credit.
And future back.
Which one were you?
Middle.
You were in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, I did a little bit of work.
Okay.
And then nothing at all. And then accepted my C.
Wow, that is a fantastic job. How did you get into that line of work?
So, like I said in the beginning, it was a lot of whipping people, burning their flesh off.
Classic hell.
I
Classic
see you're
hell.
carrying a, what is that, a cat of nine tails with you
Yes,
now?
this is my cat of nine tails. I whip.
Do you
That's
do you
made-
nay-nay?
So I nay sometimes.
That's made from real cat, I think. Isn't it?
This is a literally cat with 9 tails.
Oh.
Be careful
Oh.
because he bites. Yeah.
Don't let him near Rick.
I've been known to scrap.
I've heard about you two from the devil.
You did? Like on his way out?
I was in the green room, and he said some very mean things.
What?
That doesn't sound like him.
He says that maybe you be taking a visit from the dungeon master soon.
Me specifically?
He says that there were some naughty boys that needed some punishment. That's all I'll say, and I don't want to go further.
He says that a lot.
Me first, gimme.
Okay, well, first off, you would need to create a character, get a bunch of dice, and you'd all have to come over to my table, and then we could campaign together.
Okay, this
we
doesn't sound
got
like
a table.
much of a...
We got a table right here.
Yeah, I made this table from, I can't say the
Wait, hold on.
name,
You
but
made this table?
I made this table. I put it together.
Oh, I see. It says smorgasbord on the bottom of it.
Okay, yeah, it's a smorgasbord.
Did we get this table from Odin along with the spear?
Yes.
Oh, I get it.
And notice my spear I got in
Oh,
the corner?
yes, this is a
That's why-
nice spear.
That's why my
spear.
name's not carved into this
Does
one
it do
anymore.
anything magical or just stab?
Not a damn thing.
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was going to be great.
The same thing with my 8-legged horse. Turns out, hard to take care of, and they die real fast.
And they don't, their run kind of weird because
I have a cat with 9 tails, you see.
Yeah, we saw your cat.
That's impressive.
I tied razor blades into the tails.
So walk me through this. If I were to visit your dungeon, what would I, when I walk in, what's the first thing I see?
First thing you see is you see my cat of 9 tails. Okay, and
Does
then
it have a name? We found that a lot of people name their accoutrement.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't name it. And then so you walk through and you see a table, a round table, with 6 to 7 to 8 chairs around it.
Okay.
And then you immediately take off your shirt.
I'm ahead of the game, baby.
So when I think of a dungeon, I imagine like shackles on the wall.
So we tie you into the chairs.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So I
and
am.
you have the chains around
constrained.
your hands, you know?
Okay. All right. I see.
And then we start the campaign.
And how long do these campaigns run typically?
Sometimes 6 to 8 weeks, you know, depending on where
That's
the
brutal.
group is
That's
going.
a lot.
And lots of torture, lots of like violence sometimes.
Oh.
Because it's hell. You know, I am not the dungeon master of happy time, happy. I'm the dungeon master of hell.
Is there one of those? Is there a dungeon master of Happy
You
Happy?
don't want to meet him. He's way worse and way more sweet.
I
It
kinda
sounds,
wanna
it
meet him.
sounds insufferable.
No, I kind of want to meet that guy.
Maybe next week.
Yeah.
We'll see, but like, he's totally not as cool as I am. I mean, I know I cause pain and turmoil and torture, but
Your vibe does scream, I am very cool.
totally cool. Have you seen the glasses I'm wearing? They're like handcrafted from.
Your turtleneck is just right up there.
Yes, it is.
And is that a bolo tie? Is that?
It is a bolo tie. Thank you for noticing.
I can't help but notice.
Especially with a turtleneck. It doesn't
Sometimes-
work, but it does work.
Sometimes I will take it off and put it around the neck of my enemies
Oh.
and squeeze until they roll a d20.
Ooh.
Oh, is that bad?
No, it's good.
One time
'cause
I-
it
one-
means I stop choking them with my bolo tie.
That's cool. One time I had 20 Ds.
I don't know what that.
Yay.
The devil told me about that
Yeah.
night.
It was a mix-up at Beelzebub's, and someone put a spell on me.
And you ended up with
20 Ds.
okay.
Hey, Kale.
Yes.
It was 20 Ds nuts.
Okay.
It was 10 pairs of testicles.
That's
is
far
what I'm
too
trying to
many.
say. Okay.
All right.
I've ripped off so many testicles in my days.
You've ripped off testicles.
I've ripped off. How many times do I have to say it to you? Like, it's crystal clear. Like, I'm a dungeon master. You don't think we get our
I
hands
mean,
dirty?
we
Besides-
went from playing a game to.
Well,
ripping
you have
off
to do both.
testicles.
You have to play and torture equally. It makes the campaign more enjoyable for the characters.
You know what? I just realized we didn't. Did we ever ask you what your name was?
No, I'm the dungeon master.
Oh, okay.
Dungeon Master.
I've
Oh,
been
your
doing
name is
this for
the-
6,000
part of that don't you
years.
understand?
The
So-
Dungeon Master. Okay.
Dungeon
that's fine.
Master.
I'm sorry. It just seems like you have a lot of initiative, and I
Just
just want
like-
to let you go with it.
My charisma is over the charts. It's over 5,000.
I feel
Is
it.
it? Just like our email is the podcast from hell 69 at gmail.com. He is the dungeon master,
The Dungeon
the
Master.
original dungeon master, right?
Yes.
There's
Before any of the other dungeon masters. And actually, you know what was interesting? I created the D&D that is in the world.
what?
Yeah, I wrote that book and I sent it to my demons on Earth.
You're the OGDM?
OGDM. If that's you want to call me OGDM?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
OGDM.
I'm sorry.
I'll get 'em-
I have to clarify. You invented Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, yeah, and torture too. Like I invented so many
You
things.
invented torture.
I invented the torture. You know the eye rip out, where you take an eye and slowly rip it out over 3 days.
Okay, it's very
Oh,
creative.
that sounds like something my brother Mick would do.
Mick was very influential to me.
Oh, that's
Ah.
cool. So, like, let me tell you, have you ever met Gary Gygax?
I don't know. I don't believe I know that name.
Oh, I got some news for you later.
Okay.
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 He may have been creeping up on your scene.
Oh.
Rick, did you just pull out of your skull there the name of the guy that invented Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh, I've never heard of this.
you one of these, Rick. That's
It's not that hard. He's got a funny name, like Gygax.
Gygax.
Did you make that up?
No, it's Gary
I believe
Gygax.
this is made up. I've
think
been
you made it
around
up.
for a very
Oh,
long
come
time.
on, guys.
I am the Dungeon Master.
Let me ask you something. Just our listeners, I want you to send us an email.
If you do.
You got the address. Do you
Podcast
think?
Hell 69
Who do you think invented Dungeons and Dragons? Do you think it's the Dungeon Master
Thank you.
or Gary Gygax?
No,
All right?
definitely not that name.
It's the Dungeon Master. Is this in the name?
Okay, Kale. I'm sorry.
I am the Dungeon Master.
I lied.
Dare you cast aspersions on our
It was,
guest?
okay, Gary's my
Look
buddy.
at his bolo tie.
I see it.
Look
He's
at his
obvious.
cool
Would you
slick
like
back
me to
white
choke
hair.
you with it?
I mean, yes, but maybe after.
Easy, catty. My cat of nine tails really is not happy right
Ooh,
now.
listen to that purr.
Okay.
I'll get that in post.
All right, so just gonna be walk us through the process. So if I were to create a character, what's the purpose of that? What
So,
does that add to the torture?
Immediately, you come into the dungeon.
Uh-huh.
We give you a character so that you can project your feelings onto the character.
Oh.
This makes the emotional torture so much worse, okay? So then you have this character that is you but not you, so that you can feel free but also not feel free because you're in a dungeon. You know, and then we immediately start whipping you with like chains, and then sometimes we'll spin you upside down, you know, and stretch your body out for like 30 minutes, and then you roll dice and you play a story.
Why did I create a character to do all that? Why would I need to do that?
Imagine that you're upside down, you know, your body's getting punched, you know,
Yeah.
and then you're screaming out, "Oh no, mom!" But you don't know what mom you're thinking of, you know.
Oh, I get it.
I would be a Valkyrie. I'm almost certain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, is that good?
That's good.
Am I
yeah.
doing good? I've not played Dungeons and Dragons, either the Hell
I am the
version or the
Dungeon
Earth
Master.
I
version.
think I would be a halfling, tiefling, a dragonborn rogue.
A halfling, tiefling?
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
Ah.
Why don't you be a Gygax?
Oh, come on, guys.
right.
You don't
gotta
gotta rub
make
my
up
face
stuff.
in it just because I tried to sound cool.
don't. He's tricking you. He wants you to rub his face in.
Rub my face in it,
Yeah,
baby.
don't.
I will rub your face in it.
Do you find it satisfying, Dungeon Master, to torture people like all day? Is that what do you get out of this?
Well,
That's
I
what
will say
thought.
this.
That's what I thought.
I will say this. To me, the torture, it's like, it's fun, no? Yeah. But it's the campaign, and by the end of it, everybody is like equally tortured, you know?
Oh yeah.
And by the end of it, you get to rest, you get to sit down. And that's totally, I know, I can't get back to it. I think it was like Swedish. Hola! Hello, hola!
And we're back.
So, totally that. There we go. And I totally love it. And but the torturing, sometimes it gets to me, no? Yeah.
Oh, it's yeah.
Sometimes, you know, when you got a man.
Here's what I think. I think you like the creative aspect of it and coming up with some new experiences for people. But the torture is maybe going to get old.
It does.
I mean, whipping people, stretching people out, that's not very creative torture. I think that you could probably be even more creative.
But when they have to, like, combat against demogorgons and, you know.
Skeletons, gelatinous
Skeletons.
blobs,
Gelatinous blobs,
a,
Cthulhu.
a whole dragon.
But wait a minute. So if you come up with you're going to fight a demogorgon, like you just conjure a demogorgon right there in the room. They actually have to fight a demogorgon
In real life?
while they're chained to a chair.
Yeah, yeah.
That is incredible.
seems
It's incredible.
But take that power and put it to something more useful.
Oh, like stretching their whole body until it splits in half?
You're back to the stretching again.
Oh, I heard of you could grow bamboo shoots
Oh,
up
yeah.
through, because bamboo grows like a foot a day.
My uncle told me about that. He was in the NAM.
Right. No, that's not what I'm getting at. Maybe you could come up with something more creative for people to do.
But like I'm the dungeon master from hell. You know, like I am the dungeon master. No Gertrude Gerwick or whatever her name. You know, it's me. It's the dungeon master.
Gary Gygax.
Gary
Gary
Gygax.
Gygax.
What's you know? He's a fake name.
It's a fake name,
That's a
Rick.
pretty
Fake
silly
news.
sound.
Fake name,
Okay,
Rick.
I'm
News.
sorry.
I'm the dungeon master. No.
Fake.
He's the dungeon master.
Obviously.
What if instead of tortures, you came up with dance moves?
So like, the twist and the shout. So it's like that dance move.
I think even more creative than that.
The
Like, really
Macarena?
stretch it out.
Oh, so the macaroni and cheese. The macaroni.
Yeah. What if people had really complicated dance moves that they had to remember?
Or what if I made them? They'd spend months dancing this dance move because it's
Right.
a part of their character, and then I chop off their legs and make them do it again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
baby.
you like that?
That sounds nice.
I think that would go viral.
Yeah, I think it would be virus.
It's very
It would be viral.
bubonic.
Thank you so much for all the things you've given me. I have so many ideas going back into my dungeon master torturing devices.
Well, you're welcome. I'm glad that I could help you. I like to help our creative community by just being a sounding board and letting them, think outside the box a little bit.
Oh, I have a torture box.
You have a torture box?
Oh, yes. It has like nails and scorpions and dice. So that way you're in there, you can still play the game.
Oh, so you put the dice and everything in the box.
And I'll be like, roll for charisma, bitches. And they're like in there screaming, ah! 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 Ah!
That's not very charismatic. That's like a 0.
Thank you.
Is
That's
there
what
a
I say.
0 on it?
Yes, you can roll a 0. Or you usually roll a 1, and it's like a natural
And
1.
basically-
And then I whip you even more. Even double whipping,
Wow, that's a lot.
So
Hey, I have a question. What's the deal with the dice? Like, why the dice? Why not just whip them?
this is where the torture comes into play.
Okay.
Is
It's
having
not, I'm sorry. It's not the whipping and the stretching and the putting in a
check-
box full
It's
of
all
nails.
the things. I've been doing
Yeah.
this for a very long time.
Kale, it's
like
critical.
me coming to you and saying, how does the podcast work? I don't do that.
I don't know.
So when you have this chance of the dice,
Uh-huh.
right? And you never know what will happen. It could be very bad torture. It could be nice tickle time, And I give you little rubs, right? It could be nice.
Oh.
And that's when the happy dungeon master comes in,
A happy, fun time.
Yes, that's when he comes in. But if you
I
roll
see.
bad, you gets me.
The not knowing, the fear of the future is the real torture. Don't I always say that, Rick?
It's
That
the fear.
fear of the future
The anticipation of pain is worse than the pain
is
itself.
anticipation.
See, you see?
I like
you
it.
had no fear at all, so it felt good,
It
no?
felt amazing because I wasn't expecting.
Okay.
Oh shit! Kitty.
That was pretty good. Now make him roll for it.
I'm gonna roll for damage.
I can tell just by looking at you. You're pretty damaged.
I'm fairly damaged.
You got a big lash across your face.
I can't see.
All right. Well, this has been absolutely fantastic.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Dungeon Master.
And thank you, Kel and Rick.
I would say that this episode has been a natural 20.
Okay, I leave now. Thank you so much. The Dungeon Master's always open. Come by with your dice, and I will take your balls.
You're listening to the Podcast from Hell, part of the Queen City Podcast Network, starring Cale Evans as Cale the Damned, Jacob Brayton as Rick the Demi-Demon, and the Devil himself, featuring Timothy Hearn as the Dungeon Master.
God damn it, Kale. What did we just talk about?